I cannot imagine myself doing anything else.
Doctor, I have the ER doctor on the line for you.
This is what I love, and this is what I am, a doctor.
I love my job. I love going to work. It's 8 to 12 hours a day, but the time flies by in the emergency room.
The outside part of the knee here.
I wake up every day really raring to go to work.
They told us in residency you will only see patients in the first year or two. After that, you see families and friends. Okay, looks good.
No matter how many patients I have to see throughout the day, I may go home exhausted, but I'm ready to wake up the next day and start it all over again.
Code blue to MS.
I'm an internist and a nephrologist.
OBGYN.
Primary care.
Emergency room physician.
Orthopedic surgeon.
I'm a cardiologist.
Family physician.
An emergency medicine doctor.
Hello, how you doing? I'm Dr. Gilman.
I think most of us go into the medical field with genuinely good intentions and based on sincere morals. But unfortunately, we're faced with a whole lot of things that define how your day-to-day work is, and a lot of it is not clinical, taking care of the patient.
Being a physician certainly comes with many challenges. It's not 1, 2, or 3. Some of the challenges are most certainly acceptable, but there are other challenges or difficulties, I would say, that are just not acceptable.
The price of medication is ridiculous.
Let's face it, when you are on limited budget and you have to decide between paying your electrical bill and paying your for medications, you want to pay your electricity. That leads into complications.
I can't hardly make ends meet with the medicine. My medications run anywhere from $300 to $700 a month.
I just recently bought 3 bottles of 100 pills each. It cost me $78 in Mexico. Depending upon where I would buy it in the United States, it can run from anywhere to $13,000 a year.
It's not unusual. I talk to a patient and they say, I stopped taking that medicine. It was too expensive. I couldn't afford it. And I mean, what can I do? Even I did my due diligence, got the insurance to approve it, but their copay is $100 a month, and it's still too expensive for the patient. Honestly, I don't have an answer for that. What can I do?
Can't get the medications they need. It makes it much harder to treat them.
America pays the highest drug prices in the world, and it's not impossible to fix.
People are sick and tired of the greed of the pharmaceutical industry.
One of my greatest priorities is to reduce the price of prescription drugs.
Take a deep breath and out. For every minute I spend with the patient, 3 minutes I have to spend it on documentation. That's a valuable time I could have spent it on my patient.
So patients end up getting less time, less preventive care, because preventive care needs time to explain to patients and talk to patients. They will end up needing more referrals and more laboratory tests and testing that will increase cost on the long run.
As long as you don't grade me on not smoking, I think I'm a darn good patient, yeah.
We eat very different, very greasy stuff.
About 60 to 80% are preventable medical conditions, from diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity.
I feel patients in general expect their doctors or the hospital to fix their problem.
The problem is, a lot of people don't take responsibility. I mean, look at obesity, for instance. 2/3 of America is either overweight, obese, or morbidly obese, and that's a lifestyle issue.
Doctors were telling me what I needed to take control of, but I was not doing what they told me.
Ultimately, patients have decisions to make, and they may not make the best decision for their health, and they're not held accountable for it.
If they're not feeling strongly about their part, you can only do so much for that patient.
Right now, our healthcare system is in crisis.
There have been over 1,400 healthcare workers who have been killed by the virus. There have been thousands of others who have been critically ill. I think that the massive amount of death, it's not normal to see a 20-year-old die, not normal to see a 30-year-old daughter, or families die in that grief and them crying and them dying alone there. You can't do nothing about it. And it's that sense of hopelessness. I think we all came into this field to help people, but you really can't help people. So to help people happens outside the hospital, happens with prevention.
A lot of people in medicine are very dissatisfied with the kind of structure of American medicine right now.
Burnout is at its all-time high, which has led to increased depression, divorce, and even suicide.
Without a doubt, there's an ongoing exodus of physicians.
It kind of makes me cry sometimes, because you have people that are, the best and the brightest, and they leave the field.
It's extremely important for people to hear their physicians that deal with our healthcare system on day in and day out.
I think it's important to know how physicians are struggling because it affects patient care. And everybody at some time in their life is a patient.